What's going on, Sunbelt fans? Full slate yesterday, a little bit lighter today, but we'll recap kind of what happened. Yesterday, Troy took care of Southeast Louisiana 77-71. What we expected, what we wanted to see there. Punter had 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists to go to obviously be the player of the game in that one. Sam Houston State does unfortunately take care of Texas State. However, a little closer than what we may have predicted, is 69-62. And I'd say from what we've been seeing, Nigel Caesar looks to be kind of like the better go-to player for the Bobcats so far over Harrell. It seems like Caesar's just kind of started to play a little bit more. He's only played his 4th game, but he's a power forward and looks like he could be kind of the go-to for Texas State. Maybe they start turning this thing around with him and Harrell start heating up together, but that was not going to be the case against Sam Houston. Campbell and Georgia Southern, man, what a finish in this one. 54-53 in favor of Georgia Southern. They were down 3 with just under a minute left. They cut it to 1 after a foul, and then they took the lead on an off-balance shot with just 1.8 seconds left. The end of the game lasted like 15 minutes for the last minute of the game. And one of the things I despise about basketball is how long that last little bit takes in a game like that, with reviews and timeouts on top of timeouts. But nonetheless, good to have Georgia Southern take that one there. Finch had a great game for Georgia Southern. Brown did not play, hopefully still recovering pretty well from that scary incident that he had. So best wishes to him moving forward. ULM takes care of Lamar 83-59. They were almost up twice as much as Lamar. They almost doubled up Lamar in the first half. So good to see them take care of business in a game where they needed to be quite honest. Neither team very good so far, but to really hammer home a team like that, very good for us to see out of ULM finally get going where they should go. The game of the day that we thought would see, Marshall versus Toledo. It ends up being Campbell, Georgia Southern, but Marshall takes care of Toledo 100-85. You had Kinsey and Taylor show. Honestly, Kinsey goes for 30 points, Taylor 27. Those two single-handedly won it for Marshall there. The bigs a little less of a factor, but the guards just had a great shooting day and won it there. And then to top it off, App State takes care of Regent 100-32, almost very similar in score to what Coastal took care of them as. So great day there as far as those are concerned. And now we will jump into today's matchups. Sunday, December 18th. First game is 2 p.m. ESPN Plus. Rhode Island travels to Georgia State. Georgia State is a 2-point favorite. Rhode Island just 2-3 in their last 5 games. They've got no real great wins to speak of, so it's not like you're coming in scared of them for any reason. Georgia State's last D1 win, though, November 20th. It was almost a month ago, really. I mean, I'm looking at the date. It's 2 days away from being a whole month when they've won their last Division I game. That was against UNC Asheville. But they have played 2 Power 5 teams, an ACC opponent and an SEC opponent, pretty close. So I think that bodes well for Georgia State. Again, with Rhode Island being a little bit weaker, I see Georgia State winning at home by more than 2 points pretty easily. 2 p.m., another 2 p.m. start, ESPN Plus as well. Long Island travels to James Madison. James Madison, a huge favorite in that one. 28.5 points they're expected to win by. Long Island, here's why, 0-5 in their last 5 games, 0-5 away, and their closest game within those last 5 games was a 10-point loss. So you're not going to expect to see a whole lot of offense, or probably not even a whole lot of defense out of Long Island. Meanwhile, JMU, 4-0 at home currently. Again, better defense, better shooting team. I don't see any struggle here. And to round it all out, 3 p.m., ESPN Plus as well. McNeese travels to Southern Miss. Kind of similar to this last game we just spoke about. McNeese only 1-5 away from home. Meanwhile, Southern Miss 5-0 at home. And Southern Miss is favored by 14.5 points in this one. We do know that McNeese played a pretty close game with Louisiana. However, if we've watched some of that, which luckily I got to see some of that one, Louisiana didn't play too great in that one. I think Southern Miss is a better team than Louisiana as well at this point of the season. I expect Southern Miss to cover the 14.5. I just don't expect a lot of struggle in any of these games today. Probably the closest one you're going to be looking at is Rhode Island, Georgia State. But again, I think Georgia State takes care of business easily. Sunbelt has a 3-0 Sunday to wrap up the week. Be sure to check out the podcast coming out Monday. Round Ball Roundup should be on all your streaming platforms for podcasting. Thanks for watching.